Hello, and welcome to the Player Development Workshop, the Player Development Plan Workshop. This is a recorded version. I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to dive into it. Once again, if you want to join the live workshop, the link is in the show notes. But I'm going to share my screen. I'm excited that you're here. First of all, like this video so I can know how many people are in this recorded session. So let's get started. I'm going to pull up my screen here. All right, welcome to the Player Development Plan Workshop. As I said earlier, I'm so excited that you're here. So let's get rolling. All right, this is my reminder to record. I'm recorded. It's a recorded workshop, but y'all, anyone who is in a cohort with me watching this, anybody knows me from the Player Development Conference, I do get going before recording. All right, so welcome. Let's go. I am excited. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that you are focused on creating a player development plan that will create generational impact in the lives of the athletes that you serve. So thank you for being here. This is a presentation I use for the live workshop. So can't do a full introduction as you're looking at a recording, but let me know where you're from. In the comment section, put I'm in so and so city. I want to know where y'all are. Where my worldwide people at? I want to know where this is hitting and I want to know where this impact is being made. All right, here's what you can expect from this workshop. An interactive session. Yes, I am talking to you. It is me, but it is not going to be just me talking to you. You're going to have time to pause and get things done. I'm excited for that. You're going to get player development clarity. You may be confused on things. It may be a lot on your plate. We're going to give you clarity today. You're going to get it. Understanding the importance of a plan. You're going to understand the importance of a plan. I'll tell you my story and why it's important to have a plan, but you will understand. And then expect a sell. There will be a sell at the end, so expect a sell. All right, here's my big promise. My big promise to you is that by the end of this workshop, you will have a player development plan blueprint. Yes, you will have a blueprint for what you need to create impact in the lives of athletes. All right, and I need you to stick around to the end. I need you to stick around to the end because I have something special for you there. Now, I know it's a recorded session. I know you're watching this maybe on your phone, maybe on your computer, but I ask that you do pay attention. Now, you can use your phone. If you're on your computer, I do want you to use your phone because I want you to get on social media. I want you to tag us at btf_program.com. Not .com, excuse me, at BTF_program on all the socials. Tag us, show people what you're doing and how you're getting value from this. But besides that, I want you to put your phone face down. My phone is literally on the floor charging because I want to give my attention to you and I want you to pay attention to this because it's some great, great, great value that will help you. All right, my expectations, active participation. Yes, this is a recording, but I want you to be an active participant. Respectful communication. So if you're in the comments underneath this video, please be respectful. I want you to ask questions. You may say it's a recorded workshop. Ask questions in the comments. You'll be shocked. I actually like getting back to those, or email me at info@btfprogram.com. I want you to be engaged. I want you to be engaged. And let's have a level of confidentiality, right? What I'm sharing with you, if people want that, let them sign it up. You've invested your time, so take this for yourself, keep it to yourself, and create that impact. All right, so let's dive into my player development story. My player development story. You can see this picture right here. This is me coaching at my alma mater. Before I got into player development, I coached high school ball for 6 years. This is me at my at my alma mater, LV Hightower High School in Missouri City, Texas, which is the southwest side of Houston, Texas. And so I was at my school. You can see me here breaking them down in our line drill. I'm at my school. I was handling recruiting. I think every single kid on that front line, yes, every single kid on that front line played college football. I was handling recruiting. And what happened was while I was getting prepared for a game, or excuse me, to give Tom Herman, the head coach at the University of Houston, which you find that helmet there, I was like, hey, coach, here's our classes. He said, I want to hire you. And it was crazy that this happened because there was a coach who told me, he said, hey, Ed, you're not going to be on a high school level for long. These kids talk about you when they go on their recruiting trips. Every coach hears your name. You will not be here for long. And so it was pretty cool for me to see that. And it was just awesome because it was based off me being great at where I was at. A lot of people ask me how to get into player development. Be great where you're at. I know people don't like to hear that. I know that could be cliche, but I was a high school coach. I was looking forward to being a head high school football coach in the next 3 years, right? I had already applied to 2 positions. And so when Tom Herman came, he introduced this role. He said, I want you to be the director of player development, director of high school relations. I understood high school relations. I did not understand player development. I saw this as my path to get to being a college head coach. My goal was I'm gonna be a position coach at 5 years, a head coach at 15. And so that was the start. And University of Houston gave me my first chance. Here's a picture of me right here cheesing on my first day. I actually graduated from University of Houston. So did my mother and my father. And so this is a great moment for me because 10 years before this, I went from Hightower to University of Houston. 10 years later, I went from Hightower to the University of Houston. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, when I first got there, I was not I did my job in player development. I was told to do 3 things: spend time with the players, get them in the community, get them summer jobs. And so I knew what I was doing, but I also wanted to coach because Tom Herman said, if you want to show me that you could be a coach, be the best director of player development you could be. So I was like, all right, sweet. I'm gonna be the best director of player development I can be. Um, the thing that changed everything for me was we had an alumni event, and at this alumni event, one of our former players who was a big time player, he was homeless and massively overweight. He was a big guy, but he was massively overweight and homeless. And I remember thinking to myself, I cannot let this happen to any of my players. What do I need to do to ensure that this does not happen? And so you see this picture of me right here at this desk. This is the cleanest my desk has ever been in my career. And it looks like I have everything under control when you look at this picture, but I did not know what I was doing. I did not have a plan. So I saw this player who, was um, homeless, massively overweight, and I was like, man, I got to help him, but I didn't have a plan for that. So you can kind of see there the inquisitive look. If I knew what I know now, if I knew what you will know by the end of this workshop, it'd have been such a greater impact for me there. So at this point, I've put away my coaching whistle because once I had the interaction with that former player who was homeless, I just could not think about anything but making sure that my players could never be in that situation. So from there, I went to the University of Kansas, where my player development journey supremely took off. Shout out to Coach Miles, shout out to Jeff Long, our AD, shout out to a lot of people that allowed me to just grow. In this picture right here, love this picture. This actually uh, is a week after we played a game. So we had lost a game where this kicker, he had missed the field goal and he was down on the plane. I texted him, keep your head up. We're going to need you this season. And this is him after hitting a game winning field goal. And so I just got to dive deeper into it. And the beyond the field plan that you see now, it skyrocketed. We did so much in the community, but I truly enjoyed my time at the University of Kansas. And then from there, I transitioned to Baylor, where I was there as the assistant athletic director of player development, was there for a year. In season, you can see me here with Terrell Bernard and Jalen Petrie. Jalen Petrie on my left, if you're looking at the screen, plays for Houston, Texas. Terrell Bernard plays with Buffalo Bills. Both of these guys had their degrees. I was working on their masters before they went to the NFL. So I was at Baylor with them for a season. And then I have now transitioned out and I help people as the founder and CEO of Beyond the Field. So I help people like yourself create impactful player development plans, which is what we're doing right now. And so through this journey of being in player development, I realized I was like, you know what? How would I define player development? And so as I was getting into the aspect of beyond the field and like, hey, I'm going to consult, hey, I'm going to help people that need to get in this role. I came with this definition for player development based off my experiences of being in a role for 6 years at 3 universities under 5 head coaches. Player development is the enhancement of the athlete experience through holistic and intentional programming and initiatives. I'll say it again. Player development is the enhancement of the athlete experience through holistic and intentional programming and initiatives. And that is what it is. And so the four main areas I always talk about with people is enhancement, experience, holistic, and intentional. Enhancement, experience, holistic, and intentional. You need to have those. You need to know those. This is my definition here. And so now, as I said, my journey continues. I am the founder and CEO of Beyond the Field, which player development, which is a company. that, as I said earlier, we help people create player development plans. Yes, yes, people like you, impactful people like yourself. This was me talking to the Texas Tech football team, which was really, really exciting. My guy Quinn Jordan in the back gave me this opportunity. I was talking to them about choices versus mistakes. If you're listening to this and you're here for a player development plan and you're like, hey, we need a speaker, I can come speak to your team about choices versus mistakes, winning leadership, whatever topic you have, I can speak on it. All right, so now let's get to the workshop. That was my journey, just so you can know who is this guy who's having this workshop? How can this guy lead this workshop? And so I wanted to give you that. So let's get going into this workshop. All right, so let me go back. There's 10 questions we're going to answer today because I think what I want you to know is I want you to make sure you know what player development is and make sure you want to be in it because uh, it is a tough position. Like you may see the pictures online, you may see the community service, the career stuff, the business trips across the country. And so you're like, oh, I want to do that. That stuff is awesome, but that's maybe 10 to 15% of the job. It is a tough job. You're dealing with 120 young men. For me, I was in college football, so 120 young men that are changing, that are growing, turning into adults. You're dealing with 60 staff members on your staff, men and women. You're dealing with athletics. You're dealing with the campus. You're dealing with parents. You're dealing with a lot of people. I'm not saying that that's all bad. There are some great interactions, but it can be a very difficult job at certain times. So we're going to go over these 10 questions. I did a podcast episode on that. It's in the show notes. If you want to pause and dive into that a little deeper, that's fine. But what we're going to do is I'm going to ask a question, give you a little summary, and I want you to pause, take out notes, take out a sheet of paper, and write down your answer to this. So, question number one, why are you interested in player development? This is important. Why are you interested? And this question came because as I was in the role, people would say, oh, I want to do this because I see what you do. And I would say, so what do I do? They'd be like, oh, you hang out with the players or whatever. I was like, I do more than that, right? Right now, currently, I am going over other duties assigned, and that is something that I think that's some of the best content I've created. That podcast is in the comments or show notes, excuse me. Please check it out so you can understand everything that the role is going to do. But back to you. Why are you interested in player development? Why are you listening to this recorded workshop right now? Why are you thinking about signing up for the live workshop? Why are you investing your time, money, resources, efforts into this? Why are you interested? I want you to pause this video and write down why you're interested in player development. All right, you've answered question one. I hope that we can move to question two. If you don't know why you're interested, just pause. I would say go to Beyond the Field, go to our YouTube page and check out a whole bunch of videos. I have over 130 podcast episodes, I think over 700 videos about player development. Go check them out just to make sure you're in the right place. But if you feel like you're in the right place, we're moving on to question number two. And this is, what are the goals you have for yourself as a player development professionals? Yes, that is important. What goals do you have for yourself as a player development professional? What impact do you want to make? For me, it was generational impact. I talked a little bit about this in the podcast episode, but it's about generational impact. I want to help athletes make one choice that will reverberate and impact entire generations in their life, be it their own kids, other people's kids, their community, whatever it may be. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to answer this question on your notes. What are the goals you have for yourself as a player development professional? Hey, before we go, if y'all are comfortable, put your answers in the comments. Put your answers in the comments. I want this to be, even though it's recorded, I want this to be an interactive aspect with other people who are watching the recording. Maybe if you come back and watch it, look at the comments. Let's make it happen. All right, question number three. What would you want your athletes to say about your player development program, excuse me? What do you want your athletes to say? You're going to serve them. They're going to be under your influence. What do you want them to say about you and the impact that you made on their life? I told an incredible story in the podcast. One athlete who I did not serve, a young lady on the track team at the University of Houston, came and said, I wish we had a you. And I said, what do you mean? She was like, I see the impact you make with the players. They talk about it. You set them up for life. You see them as more than an athlete. I wish we had a you. And I was just blown away. And that really changed. I was like, wow, this is really happening. Sometimes you're in it, you don't know if the guys get it. So anyway, um, pause the video, answer the question. Once again, you can put it in the comments if you feel like doing it, but definitely put it on your sheet of paper. All right, question number four. What leadership skills will help you in the player development space? Yes, you will be a leader. Not only will you lead the student athletes underneath your influence. You will have to lead coaches, some coaches older than you, staff, parents. You have to lead people to other areas. So you need to know what leadership skills that you need to help you in the role. So pause. You know what I'm about to say. Pause the video. Answer this question. You can answer it in the comments or on your notes. I think I'm just gonna say pause, and y'all know what to do from there. Question number 5, what soft skills will help you in the player development space? What soft skills, right? Negotiation, communication, whatever it may be. What soft skills will help you in the role? How are they going to help you? What are you going to do? You know, soft skills are very important in this role. I mean, it's very, football is with coaches, I've been a couple of programs with some hard coaching. So you have to have some soft skills to help people get things done. And so I want you to pause and identify the soft skills that you need to help you in the role. Question number 6, what operational skills do you need, or what operational skills will help you in the player development role? Yes, you will do operational things. You will not only develop players. I told a story about when I was at Baylor and our DFO, Director of Football Operations, left, and I had to step in and serve and lead. And so, what operational skills will help you in the space? You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. Pause and write it down. All right, question 7. How could a player development program enhance the team you work for or will work for? This is huge, right? And I always tell people you got to be prepared to answer this question because you never know when your interview is going to come. I told you about my story with Tom Herman at the University of Houston, Coach Tom Herman. I didn't know that the interview was about to happen, so you need to prepare. How can player development, how can a program, how can you as a leader enhance the team you work for or team you want to work for? Please take time on this one. Take time on all of them, but you definitely need to take time on this one. Question 8, what relationship do you need to build in the player development space? There are a lot of people serving. There are a lot of great relationships that I have that have served me well. And even if you're looking to get into it, maybe you can't get to the director, but you can get to the GA. Or maybe you're a director, you need to build a um, plethora or a list of GAs or assistant directors or managers or coordinators, whatever it may be. But you need to figure out what relationships you need to build in the space to help you if you're in the role right now or when you get into the role. Take time, pause, write it down. Have you put yours in the comments? Have you put them in the comments yet? Question number 9, what does player development mean to you? Now, this is different than why you're interested. What does it mean to you? I can have an interest in something and something could mean something totally different for me. So I'm interested in player development to create a generational impact in the lives of players that I serve. But what does player development mean? To me, it gives me an avenue. To me, it's an opportunity to enhance. To me, it's an opportunity to create different programs and initiatives. So you have to, that's the difference there. So what does player development mean to you? Pause and write it in your notes. All right, in question 10, I want you to answer this now. We will bring it up a little later, but what will you focus on? In the role, what will you focus on? What will be your focus in the player development role? Will you focus on finances? Will you focus on career? Will you focus on relationships? Whatever it may be, what will you focus on? All right, now you've answered those questions. I'm so thankful that you answered them. I want you to look back. I want you to save them. I want you to put them somewhere. Always keep those questions next to you. It will help you. There are days when it'll get tough. Honestly, if I had those questions when I started, I would go back every year before the season started and answer those questions. Look over those questions. What changed? What has changed? Who I need to connect with? What leadership skill do I need to learn? What operational skill do I need to learn? So keep that with you. Now it's time to create. You're here for a player development plan. You're here for a player development plan workshop. You're like, I want to get a plan going. So let's create this player development plan. Now, why? Why do you need a player development plan, right? Why? Why is this guy so passionate about plans? Why can't I just go in there and just create impact? I know what I need to do. I know how to do it. I saw so and so do it. So we're going to talk about some of the reasons why. Biggest one is clarity, right? You provide clarity not only for yourself, but for so many others. Having that player development clarity is huge. My first 2 years, you saw me at that computer, that picture of me in a computer, that confusion. I lost sleep. I was stressing. I had honestly a physical break. I had eczema, just a breakout just from the stress and not knowing what to do. And so that clarity is huge. It will help you so much. Number 2, direction. It gives you direction. This is where we're going as a program. This is what the player development program looks like. This is how we will develop players. Direction is huge. Number three, communication. When you have a plan, you can communicate. I know my plan. I can communicate this plan with the coaches, with the players, with staff, with parents, with people on campus that I need help. Anybody that needs the help. I did a podcast episode, which you can find right here about the 10 people you need to know in a role. You able to communicate what you do easier when you know what you do. When you have clarity, you can have that communication. And this is important because if you don't have the player development plan, once again, if you do not have the player development plan, these are things that you will run into. Confusion, opposite of clarity, right? Confusion. You will be confused. I was there for 2 years, confused. How do we do this? Why would I do this? How to wait? Is this impact? Is it do I it just confused. Sitting in my office, like, what is going on? Lost. Instead of direction, you will be lost without a plan. You just do anything you see. Anything you see. Oh, they did this, we're gonna do it. It doesn't matter what they did. It doesn't fit your players, but you'll be lost if you do not have a plan. There are a lot of programs I saw that were incredible. Man, they're doing a great job. And I've had to tell my coach or coaches I work for, hey coach, that just doesn't work for us. We don't have those resources, or that doesn't make sense here. So with a plan, you're not lost. Excuse me, if you don't have a plan, you'll be lost. And the last one, if you don't have a plan, we talked about communication, opposite as lack. You'll be a lack of communication. Nobody knows what you do. The players don't know, the coaches don't know, you don't know how to communicate with people on campus, the needs you have. And so that lack of communication can be derailing to the impact that you want to make in the role. So here are some of the benefits of a plan. You can easily communicate your role and your impact. You provide performance markers for yourself. Yes, when I have a plan, I say, this is what we're going to do. These are performance markers. We met them or we didn't. The athletes understand, oh, sweet, because you're always communicating. You're always talking about this. This is a plan. I never steered. That's what I'm talking about. Coaches, staff understand, and then you have a guideline for programming. So when it is time to program, you do get the resources. You know what you want to do because you have a plan. Now, let's make a plan. Yep, we're about to make it. Are y'all ready? All right. So going back to question 10, what did you write down you will focus on? What did when I asked you what will you focus on? What did you write down? What did you write down? All right. And I asked that because I'm a big believer in three. I want you to put your top three. If you said I'm gonna focus on these 10 things, put rank 1 through 3. You only need 3. So I'm gonna let you pause. I want you to find 3. If you only have 2, find another one. All right, so I'll pause here, stop the video. Please find your top 3. All right, the reason why I said to pick 3 is there is a principle called the rule of 3. And this is a principle that suggests that things arranged in threes are more satisfying, effective, and memorable than others. When I say ba da ba ba ba, you're gonna say, I'm loving it, right? Happens, right? Or think about this, Nike. What is Nike's slogan? Just do it, right? In threes. NBA, MLB, NHL, different things like that. SEC, right? ACC. It's so easy to chant SEC because it's 3 letters. But anyway, the rule of 3. But this is important in the player development space because the rule of 3 is, I love the word memorable there. The word memorable, right? Because when you're working with people, coaches get on the road to recruit and they want to know, well, I can't talk about your program if it's 10 pillars, right? So what I would tell them is, hey, coach, the 3 things when beyond the field, this is the 3 pillars of beyond the field. We'll talk about it a little later, but I'm gonna give it to you right now. Personal wellness, community impact, and career development. So I'll say, coach, we're going to take care of the kid. We're going to take care of them in the community. We'll help them with their career when their career is over, football career is over. And so it was easy. Our coaches can remember that, right? The rule of 3. So if you want to do more than 3, that's fine. My suggestion is 3, but we're going to keep rolling. All right. So when we talk about pillars, right? Pillars, these are the things that are going to hold everything together. I just gave you my pillars. Personal wellness was one, community impact was the other, and career development. That held everything together. There was a lot that fell up under there. We'll talk about components, but you need to have pillars. Once again, if you want to do more than 3, that is fine. I suggest doing 3 pillars as you see here in the picture. All right, so we talk about components. These are the things that stretch or they branch away or underneath the pillars. So I'll use an example. One of my pillars was career development, and the 3 components of career development for me were externships, internships, and career placement. So those were the components of the pillar of career development. So whatever you have, having those components help because as I talked about it earlier, it helps you give you a guideline and define the programming that you will have. All right, so I have a document that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to pull it up. When I come right back, you'll see this document and we'll get rolling into more planning. Okay, so this is a player development blueprint that you're looking at. Now, my big promise to you, remember I said that you will have a blueprint when you're done. This document I am sending to you. Click the link in the show notes to download it, and it'll say download player development plan blueprint. So you'll get this document. But let's talk about the document before you get it, right? So right here, you see 3 pillars. And if you have more than 3, let's say you have 6, 4, 5, whatever, you'll be able to print 2 and figure it out however you would like to do that. And so what I love about this document, and I wish I had this when I started, I'm going to say it again. I wish I had this when I started. What I love about this document is it kind of, in a sense, cascades you down from the top all the way to all the programming. So if pillar 1 for me is financial literacy and my components are budgeting, investing, NIL, different things like that. Okay, then where you see plan, thoughts, and ideas, I'm starting to write more stuff down. Speaker series, bring in this. How can we get with the financial management people on campus? How can we get the School of Business? How can we get with different professionals around the city? And so y'all kind of see that. If you see it, put yes in the comments. But you have this pillar, so it's financial literacy, and then your components, budgeting, investing, NIL, maybe home ownership, things like that. And then it rolls down to plans, thoughts, and ideas. Maybe when you go on a home tour, whatever it may be. And so this blueprint helps you get all that on one sheet of paper. And then you can define and get even into the small aspects of like, this is how we're going to do it, right? And so I love this document because it is a great starter place for anybody that's thinking about player development. Even if you're a coach, maybe you're watching this, you're a coach and you want this in your program, this is a great starting place to get all your thoughts and ideas in one place. And then from there, get it even, more niche down to, hey, this is when we're going to do it. You could put dates in there. By this time, we'll have this, or we'll do 4 speaker series, whatever it is, this space is for you. Like I said, go into the show notes, click on the link that's next to download player development plan blueprint. So I'm gonna let you get a little time. You've probably downloaded it. It's on your computer. Maybe you pause this, printed it. I'm a print person. Maybe you print it and you just need some time to sit down with it, write some stuff down. So I will give you time. Pause this video, look over this. Maybe it's on your computer. Maybe you printed it out. Take time to fill it out. Take time to think about it. Do not rush this. All right, you should be back from the player development plan blueprint document. And that, I hope it helped you. If it helped you, please put this has helped me in the comments and let me know how. So that document is the blueprint. That's the big promise of this workshop. That document is going to help you so much between the questions you answered and that document. You are going to just, I'm telling y'all, you're starting at a place I wish I started. It took me 2 years to figure all this out. 2 years in the role. I was making impact, but I could have made so much more. And so this plan document, you have it, you downloaded it. I'm excited that you're looking into it. So now I have some questions for you. I have some questions for you. Once again, this is interactive. I want you to interact with me, even though it's recorded. Did you learn today? Did you learn today? Did you learn something today? I want you to put yes in the comments. Did you learn? Was this workshop valuable? Did you get value out of this workshop? Are you sitting there like, yo, thank you. I have clarity. I have direction. I have a source of communication. If you did, let me know in the comments. Say, I got value. Do you want to go deeper? Do you? You saw the forum, you've been in this workshop, and you're like, man, he gave me game, but I know he got more. And I do. And you want to go deeper. You're like, this has got to be the tip of the iceberg. And it is. If you answer that you want to go deeper, I want to go deeper with you. But before we go into how you can get deeper, I understand that some of you all, this is all you wanted. That's all you need. But I want every single person to give me a testimonial. I need a testimonial from you. You can send me a video to info@btfprogram.com. You can click the link in the show notes and give me a testimonial. But I want to hear from you. How did this workshop help you? You can also give me a LinkedIn recommendation. Those are great. But I need a testimonial from every single person watching this. Okay. Okay. Promise. All right. All right, so let's go deeper with the plan you just created. You just scratched the surface of player development, and I want to help you go deeper. I told you at the beginning that I was going to do a sell. I I'm going to be straightforward with you all. This is not a drag and go. A lot of you all, like I said, you may have been like this value. I'm already taking it. I'll tell you this right now. The value you have from that player development blueprint alone, I wish I had that when I started. But let's talk about this. All right, the first way that you can go deeper is an online course. This is for my people who are maybe you're watching this recorded workshop because you like to do things on your own. Maybe you like self-paced, you don't want to be in a group, you just want to get in, get out, and get it how you want to live, right? Learn it how you want to learn it, right? And so the online course is an option for you. And so in the online course, you will be able to define player development. You'll learn about the six main types of player development, the 10 areas of player development. You will create a purpose, vision, and mission. You will, once again, we talked about pillars and components, but we will dive even deeper into those and get even more specific. You will complete a entire plan outline. So this is a blueprint. It's the first aspect of it, but you can create an entire outline. And there are 18 documents to help you. You got one document today. Imagine getting 18. And so I know you're watching this recording. I know you're thinking, you know what? This is down my alley. And so I want to let you know that this is all you will get. You will get this and so much more. The course it's helped so many people so far. And I wanted to help you as well. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited that you took time, that you invested time in yourself to come to this workshop and learn about creating a player development plan. I am so excited that there are people like you in this world who want to influence athletes. If you're interested in the online course or the coaching workshop, please click the link in the show notes. Thank you so much for all you've done. Thank you for being here. I'm excited just for your journey in player development. And as I always say, whenever I end my player development pod episodes, if you don't know about the podcast, just subscribe to this channel. You're watching this, and you will get the podcast sent to your YouTube page. But as I always say at the end of my podcast, go out and create generational impact. Don't wait. Create that generational impact today. Thank y'all so much. God bless.